विक्रांत ब्रो कैमरा ऑफ कर दो। विक्रांत ब्रो कैमरा ऑफ कर दो। नीचे बटन होगा वीडियो वाला, उसको प्रेस कर दो। चलो। Okay, guys, so today we are going to talk about a lot of amazing stuff. We are going to start with the why of the game. Why are you doing this? Remember, I told you, Joe, the way we are going to learn the game. See, guys, एक disclaimer दे रहा हूँ. There are guys from South India as well, and most of the people in South India, it's a bit difficult for them to understand and talk in Hindi. So I'll talk in English so that everyone over here can understand that. So let's start with it. Bibusan joined. All mics are off. Let's do it. So today we are going to talk about the why of the game. Why are you guys doing this? So that is the deeper unconscious. You may have your own reason. Bro, I'm doing game because I want to fuck a lot of girls. Bro, I'm doing game because I just want a girlfriend. Bro, I'm doing game because I want a girl and I want to make her as my wife. So different people are having different reasons to learn this. But why is it that you are actually learning the game? What are the core influences behind learning and showing interest into something like this? So that is the why. Why do you need to know about why? Why is it important to need to know about why? I can literally start talking about, bro, okay, how to approach her. Why is it important to talk about why do you need to learn this? When you are standing in front of a girl and she's like, why are you talking to me? At that time, you can even copy paste the best lines in the world to say at that point. But your demeanor, your behavior, how you're looking at her, where is your smile now? The distance between both of you, where are your eyes going? She can see all of this. And that's where she caught you. Because there was a deeper level of shame within you that what if she comes to know that I have a dick and I'm a sexual being and I like her and maybe I find her sexually attractive? What if she comes to know about this? Then she will reject me. This is called as sexual shame. Sexual shame means what? Sexual shame means I am ashamed of being sexual. How do most guys behave in front of women? Either most guys are very silent or most guys are like red pill, high level red pill. They treat women like I have a higher value than her. So that may be true, that may not be true, but he has presumed it. So his behavior is not going to be in an alignment if a real high value woman comes in front of him. So then he may again keep on complaining about how bitchy women are. But there is no self reflection that is happening over there. By the way, coming back to the point, guys, mic off कर दिया करो जैसे ही आते हो. Coming back to the point, we are going to talk about the deeper level of unconscious, why you're doing this. So, where does it all start? You guys need to know this. It all starts with genes, right? So, imagine there is a gene pool, a swimming pool. Imagine a swimming pool. The water that is inside that swimming pool. Someone's mic is on. Yes. The water that is inside that swimming pool. Imagine there are a lot of genes, not even genes. Imagine there are a lot of living, no, dead organisms which, if they combine together, can make a living organism. Do you guys know every cell in your body is dead? So, dead cells combine together and are making up a living body. So, cells in themselves have no purpose, genes are having purpose, and that is to survive more. Ab dekho, you see what's happening now. There is a gene pool, there are a lot of genes in this pool. Some genes are expressing a sense of vision, so you can see something. Some genes are expressing the sense of hearing. Some genes are expressing the sense of color of the eye, pigmentation. Some genes are expressing how the muscles of the heart are going to respond to different scenarios. So there are different genes in this whole gene pool. Few genes got together and made a template. What's a template? Template is the first smallest living organism. Okay. So you can see, you can imagine it as some kind of plant or phytoplankton. Okay. So see this gene template. Oh, microphone's off and it's off. So in this gene pool, there are a lot of genes. They started coming together and they made a template. Or a template. This template lived for like 2-3 seconds. But just because they combined together and made a template, and this small body lived for 2-3 seconds, there was an awareness in the whole gene pool that we can live longer. We can survive for a longer period of the time. And all the genes in the gene pool started combining together to formulate different processes. And do you know what? Imagine there is a river near your home. If there's a river near your home, if someday there's a lot of rainfall happening near your home, all the fishes in the river, they're just gonna come out. Let's just say Badagi, there's flood over there. All the fishes are gonna come out, and you know, during the time of the flood, the whole street will be flooded. And in that street, there'll be fishes as well. Gutters are open, fishes are going inside the gutters. So there are fishes living inside the gutter as well. What I'm meaning to say is that once there is an awareness among the gene pool, how many ever gene pools there were in the whole world, the awareness started spreading that they can live longer. So this is how the evolution started happening. So if you see genes, they have only one core need. And the core need of a gene is to survive. They want to live long. Okay. What's the best way to survive? Reproduce. Reproduce yourself. Can you imagine? I have a 10 rupee note. I can clone it. And there's another 10 rupee note which is not identical. I can make as many notes I want, and I'm a fucking rich guy. How will you ever dominate me when I can clone every note in a different way? That's what your genes are doing. They want to survive more. And to survive more, they reproduce. You're not visible in speaker view. Instead of speaker view, bro, go to large grid. Turn to large grid mode. I'll be visible in one of the view modes. My mics. Always keep your mics off. Next. So there is gene template. Evolution hona start hogi. Evolution has started, and there's awareness among the gene pool that, oh, now you can see me. Good. So there's an awareness among the gene pool that now we can live longer. Okay. Here is the evolution of the animal brain. Animal brain, there are functions within the animal brain. And the basic functions, जो brain की development है ना, the development of the brain, when it started from this lowermost part of your brain, this part, where your spinal cord is connecting with the brain stem. वहां से, that's where the brain development starts happening. So that is the lowermost part of your brain is the animal brain. Simple. We call it the reptilian brain, the reptile brain. You share it with snakes. Literally, you guys share it with snakes. Snakes were the one who had it for the first time. What was it in the animal brain that animals had for the first time? It was amygdala. So there is in this lowermost part of your brain, there is an almond-sized uh, organ. Like within your brain, there is a different almond-sized organ, and this organ is called as amygdala. What is the purpose of amygdala? Do you see your ears, your eyes? You're sensing all the information. Whenever you're sensing all the information, where is the information going? Like for the very first time, it always goes from down to up. That's how the information goes. It travels from down to up. So you can see your spinal cord as a highway, and it always moves from down to up information. So I'll talk more about this, how the information is moving. But before that, just understand that there's this part in your body, in your brain, which is called as amygdala. And the purpose of amygdala is to sense fear. Amygdala senses fear. That means your brain doesn't know if where I'm going is uh, I'm going to die or not, if that place is filled with fear or not. Your brain doesn't know that because there is no sensory information. That means I haven't even gone and started talking to the girl, but I'm feeling afraid. And I'm thinking I'm feeling afraid because I don't know how to talk to a girl. And I am not even talking to a girl at that time. You see what's happening? Amygdala is gathering information even when the reality is not the way the amygdala is thinking. So that's what amygdala does. Whatever information the sensory organs, your five sensory organs, whatever information they are collecting, amygdala filters out things that is creating a feeling of threat within you. For example, if I ask you, okay, सिर्फ पहले एक small note बता देता हूँ. The lowermost part of your brain is the reptilian brain. Then there is midbrain, and then there is this evolution. This is where the evolution happened. Neocortex. Okay. For example, if I ask you, what is 9 into 3? You're like 27, 27, 27, 27. If I ask you what is 16 into 325, now you need time. Why? Why do you need time now? Because to answer these questions, your different parts of the brain are being used. When I asked you what is 9 into 3, your amygdala was active. If you see under EMRI scans of the brain, you will see your amygdala will be more activated at that point of the time. Why? Because if you don't know what is 9 into 3, you know what memory, just near to the amygdala, the center of the brain, just near to the amygdala, there is another organ which is called as hippocampus. Hippocampus is the memory center of the brain. Memory center. So every time your amygdala senses fear from the information that is going from your sensory organs, it gets stored in the hippocampus. First in, first out. Sorry, first in, last out. No, first in, first out. Yes, that's how your brain stores information. Microphone off. So वो सारी की सारी information, all of that information is stored in the memory center of the brain. Now see what is starting to happen. You guys have serotonin release, a hormonal release to feel happiness. You guys have dopamine release, a hormonal release to feel motivated. You guys have cortisol release, stress hormones whenever amygdala senses fear. Do you see your parts of the brain are releasing hormones to make you feel different emotions? But amygdala is not a hormone. Amygdala is an organ, and you cannot deactivate one part of your brain. Do you know what does that mean? That means you can never be fearless. Impossible. And if you are fearless, it's a gene deformity. You can search more about it on Google that if inside the genes, the expression of the working of amygdala, in that expression, there is a deformity, which is why a person is not able to sense fear. You know what is the impact of not being able to sense fear? There was a woman who was having this gene deformity and she was in an abusive relationship. She was not afraid of anything. And like if you she's she's standing on the 10th floor, she's going to jump, but she's not feeling afraid. There is a room filled with snakes, deadly poisonous snakes. She's not afraid, she wants to play with them. She can't sense fear. She's not afraid. And it's a problem. If you are fearless today, you are going to jump from the highest building on your floor. Sorry, highest floor on the building. You're going to jump from there because you're not afraid. You need fear at that time. Your brain, you see, animal brain, animal brain took how much time? Humans became aware like 1.4 million years ago. Humanity exists, the whole evolution is happening from billions of years ago. Okay. You know what does that mean? Your brain is hardwired to sense fear. मतलब कि the part of the brain, you see, this is the new part of the brain. Evolution यहाँ हुई है. This is where the evolution happened. 16 into 325, you need time to answer that question, right? Which part of your brain is going to process that 16 into 325? This, neocortex. So amygdala is fast. Amygdala is slow. Sorry, neocortex is slow. But amygdala is reactive. Neocortex is responsive. Amygdala is animalistic. Neocortex is humanistic. Okay. So you understood the function, the basic building blocks of the lower parts of the brain. This is how the brain starts building. Now, guys, I want to tell you more about the autonomic nervous system. Remember, I told you that the signals are going to amygdala. How the fuck are they going to amygdala? You don't know that? I'm going to tell you that. So there is an autonomic nervous system. Let's call it ANS. ANS. In the autonomic nervous system, imagine like your backbone is a highway. This highway is having a left lane and the right lane. So this highway is having a sympathetic nervous system. Can't see anything, can't hear anything. I don't know. This is 5G, and I hope you guys are able to hear me. Guys, can you hear me? Am I audible? Am I visible, guys? Okay. Okay, guys, coming back to the topic, uh, autonomic nervous system. So in the autonomic nervous system, audible video lagging, bro. See, thing. I have, I'm using 5G over here. I don't think there should be any problem from my end. But if there are rainy season at your side, there's rainy season at your side, then there might be some kind of problem. But the video is going to be recorded properly. Okay, I'm coming back to the topic now. Autonomic nervous system is more like a highway. Imagine it on your backbone. This highway is having a left lane and the right lane. The left lane is sympathetic nervous system and the right lane is parasympathetic nervous system. Now, what is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system? Imagine there is the left lane. Left lane is sympathetic nervous system. On this system, there are motor neurons. Motor neurons means these neurons are the cars that are going from your brain to the organs in the body. For example, my brain is like, my brain sense that my throat is getting dry. So my brain gave signal to my hand, go and get some water. Then my brain told my mouth to open up. I had water. All of this processing happened on the sympathetic nervous system. So sympathetic nervous system, that means deals with mobility, movement, right? My brain is saying, do this. My brain is saying, do that. So sympathetic nervous system deals with movement, mobility, because it deals with the flow of blood in your body. So blood is flowing in your body. Which part of your brain is taking care of that? Sympathetic nervous system is taking care of that. Then there is parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system triggers the social engagement mode. That means if I'm outside in the jungle and I'm feeling afraid, it's sympathetic nervous system triggered. But if I am relaxed, chilling right now, it's parasympathetic nervous system triggered. It deals with immobilization. Immobilization. And the state of your mind when you are being when you're processing information through parasympathetic nervous system is social engagement mode. That just means you will feel very easy to engage with someone in a conversation. When you are in sympathetic nervous system, basically your amygdala is triggered at that time. So see guys, what is happening at this point. Sympathetic, I'm going to differentiate them again. Sympathetic nervous system, what is it having? It is having motor neurons. Parasympathetic nervous system is having sensory neurons. That means from organs to brain. Motor neurons, brain to organs. Okay. Sympathetic deals with mobilization. Parasympathetic deals with immobilization. That means sympathetic deals with fight and flight. Either I'm gonna fight this shit out or I'm gonna run away from here. I'm afraid, right? Either I'm gonna go and talk to her or, bro, I'm going back home. When you are making such kind of decisions, understand that sympathetic nervous system is being triggered. When you are relaxed, when you're talking to someone, at that time, parasympathetic nervous system is triggered. So, what are the basic differences over here? There is something called as homeostasis. Do you know what is homeostasis? See, guys, homeostasis means number one, your breath, number two, your heartbeat, number three, your body temperature. I'm missing the whole session. Bro, video will be recorded. Okay. So homeostasis is your breathing, heartbeat, and body temperature. They're always in mics off. They're always in an alignment. Okay. That means if you are breathing, I have 5G too. Let me just add in. Let's see if we can get added. Okay. I'm going to keep continuing with the topic, removing the chat box from the side so that we can be focused over here. So, guys, homeostasis, what is homeostasis? Homeostasis is your body temperature, your breathing, and your heartbeat. They're always in an alignment. If you're, remember this, whenever you get angry, what happens? Your breathing is short. What will happen if your breathing is short? Your heart rate increases. What will happen if your heart rate increases? Blood flowing fast. What will happen if the blood is flowing fast? Body temperature increases, right? Body temperature increases. And the moment this happens, you are out of homeostasis. You are out of the equilibrium of your body. When does this happen? Whenever amygdala is going to sense any kind of threat, the moment it senses the threat, your body is going to come out of the homeostasis. Now, there are some hardwired threats for your brain. What are some hardwired threats of your brain? There are only two hardwired threats for your brain. First threat for your brain is fear of death. Why? Because it directly goes against what genes want, right? So this is the hardwired fear of the brain. Second hardwired fear of the brain is fear of uncertainty. I don't know what will happen. If I don't know what will happen, then I may die. And you cannot say that, bro, but I have never been exposed to uncertainty. Then still, why I'm so much afraid of uncertainty? Because it is hardwired fear. That means your ancestors have gone through fear of uncertainty so many times that your brain came up with a defense mechanism that only filters out the fear of uncertainty. Are you getting it? So sensing fear is not a problem, guys. Fear sensing is a defense mechanism of your brain. Why is fear given? Fear is given so that you don't go there or else you will die. That's why fear is given. It's that simple. You are alive because your ancestors were not at the places wherever there was death. A lot of species have like totally diminished from Earth. Your ancestors were just not there when the death was there. So basically, knowing when you are going to die and where death can come is really important. Warren Buffett says, "Tell me where I'm dying and I'll never go there." It's that simple. So, whenever your brain is going to sense threat, it is going to trigger any of these two things. Either you are going to feel a primary death, ego death, reputation, loss of reputation. What are people going to think about me? How am I being observed? All of these questions. Imagine you are standing in front of a lot of people, your friends, a gathering, you're standing in front of a girl or whatever it is. And you are feeling, how am I being observed at this time? And let's just say you fumbled. You were talking, you fumbled, or you didn't say a word correctly. At that point, you're saying, fuck, what is she thinking about me? She must be thinking, this is some nalayak guy. This guy doesn't know how to even talk in English. And this triggers loss of reputation. How am I being observed at this time? And this triggers fear of death. I'm dying in this situation. And your body starts behaving the same way as it would behave when you are actually going to die. And what does that mean? Your body takes you out of homeostasis. That means you were chilling and just talking to her, and suddenly you are in sympathetic, the nervous system. You are in fight or flight. What does that mean? That means whenever you are angry, afraid, frustrated, depressed, I don't know, a lot of emotions which are unresolved within you, your body switches from parasympathetic to sympathetic nervous system. What that means is your brain has observed fear of death or fear of uncertainty. It has sensed threat from somewhere. What will happen if amygdala has sensed threat? Cortisol release. Cortisol release means what? Tension in muscle tension. Have you ever seen group में जिसको बात नहीं करनी, anyone in the group who doesn't want to talk, he'll be standing like this, hands crossed. It's muscle tensed. Muscle tension is there. Okay. So, guys, whenever cortisol is releasing, muscles are tensed. Muscles are tensed, again, switch to sympathetic nervous system. So, how do we deal with this switching of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system? Here comes the thing. This is called as the polyvagal theory. Polyvagal theory says that your 10th cranial nerve, this nerve that is beginning from the tip of your head, the Sahasrara chakra, the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, it is going down and then it gets opened, over here and near your ears, near your nose, near your mouth. It gets opened near your throat, near your heart, near your lungs, near your diaphragm. That's it. This nerve is connected directly from your head to your diaphragm. And there are a lot of openings on the way. That means anything that is happening on the way will be delivered to the brain. So, guys, this means if you see that you are switching from parasympathetic to sympathetic, you are chilled, you are like, okay, but suddenly you are feeling a lot of anxiety. What happened? You will see, oh, I'm outside. Oh, I'm going to talk to a girl. That's why. No, you switched to sympathetic and you didn't even know that. Just because you didn't know in which state of mind you are, it creates more confusion. And when you see yourself confused in a situation where you feel performance anxiety, you feel like someone is looking at me or I am looking at myself, I got to perform. You feel even more anxiety because now you have fear of death, fear of losing reputation. What if I fuck it up? And you will be keep on standing there. answering these questions in your head, and she'll be gone. What's happening? Where is the problem? Is the problem you don't know how to talk to girls? Is the problem you don't know how to behave in front of them, how to start the conversation? Is the problem that you have sexual shame? You are ashamed about that you are a sexual creature? No. The problem is you didn't see the switch happening. You were so unaware, so much lost in your own thoughts. You didn't see the switch happening. You were at your home, you were relaxed, right? You came outside and suddenly you're anxious. In between this, when did the switch happen? Don't know. That's why you suffer. How do you come out of suffering? You get to see this switch happening. How do you see this switch happening? You take the help of the vagus nerve. That means what? You will see that your uh, breathing, heartbeat, and stomach contraction. Only these three things. The moment you see that your breathing is getting faster, that means anxiety is coming in. There is some thought in my mind which is creating some form of anxiety. The moment you saw this, your breathing will be normal again. Don't try to suppress it, because the more you will try to suppress it, you are actually turning reactive, where you are breathing faster, but you are trying to stop it. Reaction. It's reactive, it's not responsive. What is responsive? I'm breathing faster and I'm allowing myself to breathe faster. And when I do this, I don't breathe fast anymore. When I don't breathe fast, my heartbeat, it just heart rate decreases. When the heart rate decreases, the body temperature decreases as well. When the body temperature decreases, I come into parasympathetic. When I come into parasympathetic, I feel easy to talk to anyone. Why? Because I'm in social engagement mode now. Before, I was in fight or flight mode. So this was animal brain. Now this is this point when the evolution, just fast forward it. You'll come to a point where humans' brain functions started developing. The first intelligent function, inte- imagine your brain as intelligent, and the first function the brain in the whole world ever had was sensing function, S function, and it was in plants. Plants sense. We also have sensing functions. We share this function of the brain with plants. See the sunflower. This is where the sun is moving. This is where the plant is moving. This is where the water is. That's where the roots are. That's sensing function. So plants are only having sensing functions. Then the evolution kept on happening. And the second function that came out was feeling function. You can see it in fishes. Fishes can sense this is hot water, this is cold water. And they feel, I don't feel good in this hot water. So it starts moving towards the cold water. The plant can't do any shit about it because it doesn't have feeling function. Plants only have sensing function. Now, like fishes, we are also having F function within us, feeling function. Third, evolution kept on happening, and boom, there is intuition. N function. N function is called as intuition. It means what? There were hunters and gatherers before. I don't have food, I'll go hunt an animal. See, if I'm in a jungle, I don't know what is poisonous and what I can actually eat. Animal knows what to eat. So I eat animal. That's how it was years ago. Because there was no agriculture as well. When agriculture came in, someone said, this is a seed. Let me just see what happens if I throw it. And he just sowed it. Basically, he sowed it. After 1 year, there was a tree and there were fruits. And he doesn't have to hunt. Because what if you have to hunt? If you go hunting, there is fear of death. You may die. And from this only, there was fear of uncertainty. Imagine you and your group of people are going to jungle, right? To hunt tiger. You anyways hunted tiger. You came back home, but one member from your group is dead. Now, next time you are going to go there, there is fear of uncertainty. What if another one of us dies? Do you see? It's actually the fear of death. And the subset of the fear of death is fear of uncertainty, leading to the same thing. You're actually fearing death, and it's your genes you are identifying with. So, moving forward, intuition. So, intuition function came in when the agriculture came in, and that's when intuition function is very helpful for humans as well. And we need it quite a lot. Intuition function was there, that's why we are alive. Intuition function sees patterns, pattern recognition. Today, we don't have to travel on the sea because tides are going up and down. So, what is this? He noticed a pattern of tides going up and down. And he noticed that I should not travel on the sea. So, they are not traveling. Today, the tides are in our favor. Let's travel on sea. So, they travel. What is this? Pattern recognition. Clouds look black. It's going to rain. What is this? Pattern recognition. So we are always seeing patterns. And you know what is, if n function goes to extreme, n function is your brain's function. चार ही functions होते हैं. Your brain are only having four functions. Third function is n function. If n function goes to extreme, you start finding patterns in a lot of things. You'll see Ganesha in potato. You'll see before making a turn, you'll have specific number of horns that you will do. I'll do two horns. If you play cricket, you'll be like, I'll have my second over. If you if you'll be, it's just pattern recognitions. These are the patterns your brains have recognized. And when it goes to the extreme, it can even turn into obsessive compulsive disorder. That means some people will have keep on doing like this, keep on doing like this, keep on doing like this. This is OCD. Some people just want to keep phone in the hand. Why? It's pattern recognition. And there is another reason why people are suffering from OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. के हाथ के साथ कुछ ना कुछ करना है. Keep doing something with your hands. It's because they were the person they were very close to. It's just like holding the finger of that person. So when you hold the finger of that person, you feel safe. A person having obsessive compulsive disorder is having high level of anxiety because sympathetic nervous system is so much triggered that in the environment that he is living in, he feels unsafe. And because he feels unsafe, he fidgets. And that is intuition function. It's really good, but it can turn destructive. Any of these functions are really good and can turn destructive. Last function of your brain is thinking. T function. That's where the evolution finally finished. We became aware that we are different. Okay. We came out with the language, all of these things, how we became aware about the things. The thinking function came into existence. Guys, can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there are four functions. So that means 4C4. There are 16 combinations of personality types. 16 combinations of personality types. So my personality type will have four dominating functions and four shadow functions. It's 4C4, four brain functions, four combinations, 16 personality types. Anyways, don't micromanage. There is no point of 2C4, 4C4. I hope you understood the point over here. Anyways, coming back. Yes, so there are 16 personality types. So guys, this is what this Prabhat wrote. That's how it is. It's not 4C4, it's 2, whatever it is, and 4. So there are 16 personality types. Now I'm going to differentiate between the dominating and submissive function, the shadow functions of the brain. The first function is E versus I, an extroverted function versus an introverted function. See it like this. There is a kingdom. This kingdom want to explore the territory. The people who will go out to explore the territory are extroverts. Now, once the territory is expanded, within this expanded territory, there are people who are needed to organize it. There are introverts. That's it. Extroverts and introvert is the source of your energy. It's not who you are. That's how you like to collect energy. You are an extrovert, that means you want to feel good, you want to feel energetic. Everything in your plan will be related to going out. You're an introverted, you want to feel good, everything in your plan will be organizing things in some way. You can go out and organize things, but E is going to be more sociable. Okay. So E and I functions are just energy gathering functions. You're gathering energy. So E and I function doesn't mean that you are shy or confident. Extrovert doesn't mean confidence. Introvert doesn't mean shy. Are you getting it? Extrovert means you need to go out, you need to be sociable to feel energetic. Introvert means I need to organize and stay in to gather energy. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? What does this mean? An extrovert, okay, an extrovert, if you just keep him in a room for like 7 to 8 days, he's losing energy. An introvert, if you keep him out of his home for like 7 to 8 days, his safe space, he's losing energy. An extrovert will gather energy. Imagine you're an introvert. If I say, bro, let's go out, going out is losing energy for you. If you are an extrovert, going out is gathering energy for you. Bhai, maza aega. And you'll be like, but bro, till what time we are going to be there? See, that's an introvert over there who wants to preserve energy preservation that is happening. None of this is good or bad. See, none of the brain functions are good and bad, and none of the personality types are good and bad. Every personality type has a peak and a bottom. Every personality type has a light and a shadow. So you understood the E versus I functions. Second is S versus N functions. S versus N functions are the information gathering functions. One is energy gathering functions, one is information gathering functions. A sensory person is, he wants to touch things, he wants to experience them. What do I mean by that? It means if there is someone who is like, bro, don't order online, we'll actually go to the shop and buy it from there. That is a sensory type. A person is like, bro, I trust Amazon. They have done this quite a lot of times, and I'm satisfied with the service. So N function is having proofs from the past to justify his answer. Do you see intuition patterns, pattern recognition? He made a pattern that so many times I have ordered, so I can trust this place. I don't have to go out and purchase it. N function. S function is I can't touch it. How will I know if this is fine or not? I can't see it. I don't know what is it. So S function, like let's go out and see let's go out and buy it so that we can actually see what we are buying. So there's S and N functions. Then there are information processing functions. This was information gathering. Information processing functions, thinking versus feeling. So whatever information is there, how is someone going to process that information? Either their thinking function of the brain is going to be more dominating, or the feeling function of the brain is going to be more dominating. See this. Imagine you want a car. You told your parents, I want a car. Now your mother is a feeler and your father is a thinker. Okay. How your mother will tell you that we can't afford a car right now? And how will a father, a thinker, tell you how we can't afford a car? So this is the feeler mother coming to you. Feeler mother is like, see son, your father is working day and night. Have you seen what happens to him when he comes back home? He just falls on the bed. He eats so less. I don't think he's even able to complete his sleep. He's working so hard, and I don't think you think about him at all. You're so selfish. Why are you only thinking about him? You want a car. We know you want a car. But see that what your father is doing right now. He's the only person who's earning at home. Do you feel something for your parents? Feel your mother. Now comes a thinker father who wants to tell the son that we can't buy a car for you. So the father comes. So how was the day? Oh, good. Do you know what's going on? What? I know you want a car. Yes, when am I going to get my car? Do you see, son? This is my salary. This much of my salary is going to installments. This much of my salary I'm paying for your education. This much of my salary is going to your pocket money. This much of my salary is going here. If I'm getting only this much, only this much is remained. For how many months do I have to keep this much so that I can get a car that you want? Do you see? Can I get you a car right now? So father also said, I can't get your car, but use a different way. So that's a feeler mother and a thinker father. Same information. Information is my son wants a car. Processing in a different way. You see this? Now the last function is J versus P. Judging versus perceiving. Judging function. Judging function is if it goes to the extreme, it can create a lot of problems. Any function, any of these functions, if gone to extreme, can create a lot of problems. So, judging function is very necessary to notice the difference between black and white. That means what can be done and what was done wrong. J function is needed. For example, if two people are talking, so Prabhat, for example, I said 4C4. So Prabhat said 2 and this upper arrow 4. This is J function. P function. P function, when I said, oh, that's totally fine. And that's a P function. P function is let go. Let go. So these are four functions. These are the actual 8 function, and you are going to have dominating and submissive function out of these 8 functions. For now, my personality type, guys, is ENFJ. I'm ENFJ. I'm extroverted, intuitive, feeler, and I'm judging. But what are the percentages? So you guys will have to go to www.16personalities.com. Last group, J versus P, judging versus perceiving. Judging is used, even the like high court judges, Supreme Court judges, good judgment, needed function. P function is also needed. When there is too much judgment, it creates a lot of anxiety. So P function comes to rescue to like, fuck that shit, and smiles. So that's P function. If you make a mistake, a judgment function will be very critical, self-critical. How can I do this? Why am I doing this? Perceiving function is, yup, that happened. So what? So J and P, J and P, sometimes they fight quite a lot. And J keeps on feeling a lot of anxiety as well. I'm also a J, by the way, but my J and P are balanced 51 to 45, 55 to 45. So if you go to www.16personalities.com, answer all the tests over there, give me the percentages, what are the percentages of your personality type, and that's where I'll come to know more about you. I'll come to know what personality type are you and how to tell you the information. So when I know how to tell you the information, what are your information processing things? I know what you guys have answered the question that I've asked you. Then I'll know how to tell you things. If you are a thinker person, I'll use numbers. If you are a person who is feeler, I'll use imaginative situations. You see, I will teach the same thing to different people in different ways based on their dominating and submissive functions. Okay, guys. Now, moving forward, I think, okay, I'll talk about this. Gene pool is done, gene templates are done, evolution of animal brain is done, amygdala and all that. Then functions of human brain, these are done. You'll have to send me the screenshot of the percentages of your personality type. Now let's talk about family archetypes and shadow side of every human. Family archetype, guys, really interesting topic. Really fucking interesting topic. Now this human with these functions, which is born in a family. Let's talk about this human first. That means let's talk about you. When you guys were 0 to 2 years of age, the brain waves that your brain was producing at that time was delta waves. Delta waves deal with absorption of information, absorbing. Okay. So 0 to 2 years of age, whatever environment were you don't know right, wrong, question, why was I there? Nope. You're in that environment and you absorb it. So even the terrorist environment, the child is 0 to 2 years of age. He doesn't know what's right or wrong because 0 to 2 years of age, he absorbed it. So, what kind of environment you have absorbed in 0 to 2 years of age, delta waves are dealing with it. So, at this point of the time, your brain is unconscious. Okay, unconscious part of the brain, 0 to 2 years of age. Then you turn 2 to 5 years of age. At this time period, there are beta waves. And beta waves are dealing with imagination. If you see 2 to 5 years of age kids, if they want to tell anyone how happy their family is, they are going to draw it. If they want to tell someone that there is something which makes them feel afraid, they draw it. It deals with imagination. Their imagination starts exploding at the age of 2 to 5 years of age. And at this point, their brain is subconscious. These beta waves are dealing with subconscious. Then comes the 5 to 7 years of age. And at this time, there are theta waves. Theta waves are dealing with rationalization. Rationalization matlab, it means logic, means cause and effect. This happened, why did this happen? What did I do that this happened? Cause and effect, 7 years of age. That means anything good or bad happened to you from 0 to 7 years of age. This 0 to 7 years of age, you have written how you are going to live the rest of your life. Are you getting it? Whatever you are going to do now after the 7 years of age is going to be the continuation of the waveforms which your brain is producing. But there is a new study which says brain is plastic and elastic in nature. Brain plasticity, brain elasticity. You know what does that mean? Imagine I have an accident and a part of my brain is gone. यहाँ पे सर पे चोट लगी and मेरे brain का एक part गया. And because of that accident, I'm not able to move my leg anymore. But I practiced and practiced and practiced. Like I started with moving my thumb. Then I started moving 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers. Slowly, slowly, do you see what is happening? The brain is shooting neurons to find out a different pathway to reach the same destination. Do you see this? If brain can't go through the way where it used to go from, now it is going from a different pathway to the same destination and the person starts moving. This is how you see someone who's not able to speak from a very long time suddenly starts speaking. The hearing comes back suddenly. Suddenly the person, he had an accident, paralysis. Baba Ramdev, paralysis, suddenly he's moving. What happened? Plastic brain. So the main point that I'm telling to you over here is by the 7 year of age, everything that has happened in your family has set up how you are going to make decisions. Now let's talk about family archetypes. तुम्हें दिख रहा है where we started from? We started from genes, these genes, templates to animal brain to There's functions of human brain. Then from functions of human brain to we are going to talk about how this brain is producing different brain waves. Then now we are going to talk about the family archetypes. Before that, just a small point. Right now, you guys are listening to me, right? Right now, which brain waves? This is a question. Before moving forward, let's do Q&A. Which brain waves are being produced within you guys right now? Theta. Yes. You guys are conscious. You guys are listening. You guys, this is called as known. You guys know that you guys are listening. Okay. Imagine you're listening to me and I said something. I just said something because of which a story came in your mind and you're in the story now. You are able to listen my sound. You're able to listen the speech. Your brain is understanding everything, but your eyes are not looking at me. Your eyes are looking inside in a story. Which brain wave? Beta brainwave. Yes. Imaginative. Beta brainwaves. Your brain is painting pictures. Same, nothing different than what you were doing in child. As in your childhood, you were painting what was coming in your mind. Now you think you're old enough, painting is for kids. You don't paint anymore, but it's happening in your mind anyways. So that's beta waves. You know those mind-made stories. I did this. He's like this. I am like this. She's like this. Boys are like this. Men are like this. Women are like this. Stories. Okay, you have removed. I'll add you again. Sometimes it happens, bro. Don't worry. So these different stories that are happening in your mind, that are coming in your mind, are what are they saying? You are sharing beta waves. And if you have problem with stories happening in your mind, you don't want to see the stories in your mind. Something traumatic happened with you when beta waves were being formed. That means if there is problem with your imagination, that means beta wave deformity. If it's difficult for you to stay here right now and just you're just going back in the mind again and again, that is theta state. If you are believing, for example, you're like, he said something like this, so I'm that. My parents believe me to be like this, I am like this. That's how the world has to be. This is delta waves, unconscious. Why? Because what he's saying, he never thought about it. He is just obeying. You see what does that mean? Obeying means absorbed, absorption. He is just vomiting what he has absorbed. Delta wave. Now, here another distinction. He's vomiting what he has absorbed. There is no experiential reality. Whatever he's saying, he has no experience for that. He's just saying whatever he has heard from parents or whatever he has read somewhere. But experiential dimension is missing. So that's again unconscious state of mind. So in these states of mind, how your family archetype started influencing the way your brain is performing. Someone's microphone is on. Whose microphone is on? Guys, someone's microphone. Yes. Again. भाई ये किसका माइक्रोफोन है? It's not even visible whose microphone is this. Okay, guys, coming back to the point now. Family archetypes के बारे में बात करेंगे. The first family archetype is family archetype that is focus on appearance. What does this mean? You know, family archetypes. Did you guys see the documentary of the documentary I shared with you, The Century of Self? If you have, I know you guys have seen. If you have seen the documentary, you know that your family itself is conditioned by the capitalists and the governments. Now, there is this family archetype. There are different family archetypes. This is called as the collective unconscious. So the first family archetype is that family that is focused on appearance. What does this mean? This means your family is someone like you are going to school and you can't do spike, like spiky haircut. Why? Because it looks lower caste. How can you do that? Color your hair, spikes and color your hair. That's against our values. How? What will people think about us? What have we trained to our kids? This is the kind of teaching we have given to our kids. What is this? This is a family focused on appearance. That means this family is telling the child how you look is going to tell about who we are. This is not true. The appearance of the kid is equal to the identity of the whole family. This is the family archetype. So this boy will always, look, he'll never try to look his best physical self. Like there is this man, if he wants, he can make himself look good, his best self. He won't do that. Why? Because if he does, there's a huge sense of shame linked to it. Ye banda, this guy will never do spikes. Why? Sense of shame linked to it. Mom said never do that. I'll not do that. I was shamed for that. So whenever he's going to do spikes, he's going to feel like he's doing something really amazing. Okay. So this is the family archetype which is focused on appearance. Second family archetype is the one who doesn't see or hear you. They were not there. For example, this is also one of my family archetype. They were not there to see or hear me. I came back from school at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. My mom will come at 5 or 6 o'clock. My dad will come at 9 or 10 o'clock. So these 4 to 5 hours, I'm alone at home. And at that time, let's say I had fight and I'm so frustrated, or the guys with whom I was coming back to home, those guys were talking shit about me in the auto or the auto rickshaw, or I don't know any. My friends were talking shit about me while coming back to home. There is no one at home, and now there is no one to see or hear me. The moment my mother comes back to home, she's coming back from home. She's coming back from college, so she is very angry, frustrated, maybe because of things happening at her place. My father comes back tired. So what do I become? I don't really think anyone needs to know what's going on with me. That would be my core belief. My core belief would be I don't think I don't think anyone really cares about anyone. No one cares about anyone. No one actually likes to listen or see anyone. And I will believe it. What does that mean? Believe it. If you believe you are Hindu, if you believe you are Muslim, what does believing in something do? If you believe you are a nationalist, believe, So you believe no one cares, no one likes to listen or see what's going on with me. That's how you will treat other people as well. And that's what you have learned from your family. That's family archetype. Third family archetype is the one who doesn't know how to model boundaries. This kind of family archetype who doesn't know how to model boundaries. Your phone will be checked. Your personal diary will be checked. You don't have a personal space in reality there. Maybe now you have, but I'm talking about as a kid, like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There is no space there. They don't model boundaries. You say, Dad, don't come in my room for 5 minutes. It's his home. He will come. What does this mean? Boundaries are made to be broken. And if someone is sharing the boundary, it's very bad. Respond to it in an angry way. That's what it is. Dad, please don't check that diary. You go and sit there. Dad, what is this? Family archetype, not modeling bound. What? How can you tell me where to stop? That's what this is. Don't tell me where to stop. I am your father. You know what this child is going to do with his sons? Don't tell me where to stop. I am your father. This is how the trauma keeps on being passed on. Your dad's trauma will be your trauma. Your trauma will be your son's trauma. And right now, your dad's trauma is your grandfather's trauma. That's how the family archetypes have been. They have been like this from years. So, the family that doesn't know how to model boundaries, your secrets. For example, uh, you tell a secret to your mother, but then everyone knows about that secret. What do you know? What do you get from here? You'll have trust issues. Why? The person whom you trusted the most can't keep the secret. You will never trust anyone, even if you share an intimate relationship with that person, because that's what mother did. So, the one who doesn't know how to model boundaries, that family archetype. The next family archetype is the one that doesn't know how to regulate emotions. Mom got angry, she threw things, like whatever she was having in her hands, and boom, there is this glass, boom, like slamming doors, fatak, like door is slammed. Silent treatments, not talking to you for a day, for 1.5 days, not giving you food, or what else? Mm, a lot of anger, tearing of clothes, or I have heard stories where parents fought so much that they teared each other's clothes. Imagine a person who's born in this family and he's good with game. Why? He got connected to his shadows. So, coming back to the point, the family type which doesn't know how to regulate emotions. Sometimes, someday, what happened, bro? Aren't these normal behavior? So, again, guys, here is an example. If you think this is a normal behavior, I was coming to this point. Let me come back to this point, Prabhat. Let me just complete this. The one that doesn't know how to regulate emotions, that means that angry mother beating herself or beating the son or throwing things, doesn't know how to regulate emotion. What did the son learn? The son learned how to do what to do when the anger comes. Okay. So I hope you understood till here. Now I'm going to talk about attachment style, and after attachment style, Prabhat will understand what he's getting into. Are family archetypes valid in single parent and single child? Yes, because there's always going to be a father figure and a mother figure. You see someone as your father and other person as your mother. So parent doesn't really have to be there, even if there are guardians, there are father and mother figures over there. Now let's talk about attachment styles. Guys, talking about attachment styles, there was an experiment conducted in London. In this experiment, kids were, like a lot of kids were invited with their mothers. And the mothers were told 0 to 7 years of kid, different age, different variety of kids, different nationalities. They were invited over there with their mothers. And the scientists told the mother that you will be kept inside a room with a stranger person. You are sitting there inside that room with your kid, and after 2 minutes, you have to get up and leave that place. That's it. And after 5 minutes, you go back to your kid, play with your kid, and just get your kid and come out. So there were a lot of mothers and a lot of kids. The way kids behaved when mother left was categorized into four types. And these four types is how kids learned to attach with people, things, and environment. You're in an environment, you feel unsafe because the attachment style is different over here. So how did those children behaved and what attachment styles came out? The first attachment style that came out was secure. What were these kids doing? So mother is sitting with the kid. 2 minutes बाद, the mom just got up and left. क्या होता है? The kid is just looking. Where did mom go? Where did mom go? She left me alone. But then the kid looks at the stranger. The kid goes to the stranger and the kid starts playing with the stranger. And when the mother comes back, the kid looks at the mother, goes back to the mother, starts playing with the mother. Secure. I'll even tell you how did they came to this deduction. Second, anxious, resistant. Now, there were some kids. Mother left after 2 minutes. This kid is looking at mother going. And after 2 minutes, in the moment mother left, he's looking and then he's just throwing things here and there. He's not even talking to the stranger because he's feeling angry and alone. And when the mother comes back, he punishes mother by crying or by, like a lot of uh, projection of energy just coming out, leaking out of him. So there's a lot of anxiety. So this is the anxious resistant. Mother came, mother went. He is all anxious, throwing things here and there. Mother came back, getting angry with mother. Third, dismissive, avoidant. What do these guys return? Mother left after 2 minutes, and this child is looking at mother going. And then he's looking at the stranger. He's feeling lost. He's alone, but he's not showing it. He's avoiding to express. He's avoiding to show any kind of expression. And when the mother comes back, he avoids to cry or shout or do anything. He avoids. That's it. This is dismissive avoidant. Fourth, disorganized. Disorganized is sometimes this kid was behaving in an anxious resistant way, and sometimes he was confused basically to what to choose, not to say anything or to shout, what to do at this time. My mother is gone, I'm here, what to do? And the kid is lost. He's not moving, he's very still. He's like frozen, disorganized. Now this tells a lot about what kind of families these kids are born and brought in. Guys, you cannot be 100% secure, 100% anxious resistant, 100% dismissive avoidant, 100% disorganized. We are all of this because no family is perfect. We are still evolving. We don't know what a perfect family is. So we all are some percent secure, some percent anxious resistant, some percent dismissive avoidant, some percent disorganized. But what is the greater percentage of ours? Can the same thing be said about the family archetypes? Yes, your mother will also have some kind of attachment style. Your father will also have some kind of, everyone is having attachment style. Okay. So see this, secure. Secure means this baby was given a secure base. He was given a trusted place. His parasympathetic nervous system, basically his social engagement mode was active most of the times, and his sympathetic mode was not active. There was nothing going on in the home which made this baby come out of homeostasis, which is why it is very easy for this baby to trust someone coming in his space, and it will be very easy for him to go into someone's place and they can also trust them. They'll go with that vibe. That's a secure attachment style. Okay. For example, when your elders say to your parents, don't argue in front of your children. What are they saying? Your parents will be teaching you that we are angry right now. Your mother is anxious. She's shouting. Your dad is avoidant. He's not replying. He's avoiding. And you are being disorganized. Because when you'll get angry, you don't know what to do. This or that. Do you see how disorganized kids came out? Their parents was either one is anxious, other is resistant. A lot of fights are happening, and the kid is confused about how to respond to different emotions. So there is another example. Imagine I'm feeling afraid. I watch Mojo Jojo on TV. I'm 5, 6 years old. I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling like Mojo Jojo is coming out of my bed under my it's he's under my bed. I get up, run towards my parents' room, open the door, and they're arguing. I'm like, Dad, I'm feeling afraid. He's like, go the fuck back. Go back to your room. Go back. And I'm frozen. I don't know what to do. And I go back to them. What is this? The moment I feel fear, what will I do? I will close myself. I'll go back to the room. That's what authority said, right? I'll go back to the room. What will I do? I'll shout at myself. I'll argue with myself. That's what the authorities did. Do you see this thing? It's so invisible, right? We can't see it. That what kind of behaviors have we learned? These things are so close to your memory center. That means these things are happening at automatic mode. What does that mean? It means they are at the front, easy to access. They are so close to you. Just because they are so close to you, you need a microscopic vision. Are you getting it? They're so small, they're so close. These things, you have always been exposed to this, yet you don't know. So these four attachment styles are there. Now imagine this. An anxious person. An anxious person is going to how the birth of an anxious person, let's do this. How a person is having a higher percentage of anxious resistant. The parent, both of the parents were avoidant. He's feeling sad. No one came to him to ask him what's going on. They are just giving him food and everything. They are giving him food, sending him to school, everything. They are just taking care of his survival. But no one asked him why he's sad or why he's feeling shitty today. What's going on in your life? You can tell us. Nope, none of that shit. What's going on with your life? Your life is going to be the way how I tell you it is. Okay. So this kid is anxious. Parents are avoidant. Now, how will a person will have higher avoidance? If you are someone who is having higher level of avoidance, your parents will be anxious, or the dominating person at your home will be anxious. That means, let's just say your mother is more dominating than your father. Your father is avoidant. He avoids things, and your mother dominates. He's anxious. And your mother, you are close to your mother dominates you as well. You are also avoidant. You learn this strategy to be an avoidant towards your mother from your father. Do you see it? So, guys, this is why avoidance and resistance, anxious resistance, they attract each other. An avoidant loves to avoid, and this will trigger anxiety in an anxious person. And when an anxious person gets anxious, he shouts. When he shouts, he avoids. When he avoids, she shouts. When she shouts, he avoids. Toxic. Now you know what is a toxic relationship. When both of these people are having higher percentages of anxious resistant or dismissive avoidance, and this is a loop. Shouting, avoidance. Anxiety, shouting, avoidance. Anxiety, shouting, avoidance. And you, disorganized. Voice cracking. I was talking a bit low, but I hope you'll be able to understand me now. So you guys understood how these guys are attracting each other. So if you are an avoidant, you will get attracted towards women who are very dominating, like very talkative and very expressive, dancer and da da da. Like you're an avoidant. If you're an anxious, you need submissive, like doesn't talk much, avoids me. Why? That's how your mother was. Okay. So, guys, I hope you understood the attachment styles that are coming out because of the family archetypes. Now, coming back to the thing that Prabhat said. Last point. Last point is कि I don't know what was the last point. ठीक है, I'm in a flow. मेरे को मैंने पिछला ही क्या बोला था वही भूल जाता हूँ मैं. Attraction. Okay, yes. I was saying anxious resistant will get attracted to dismissive avoidant. Dismissive avoidant will get attracted to anxious resistant. They are attracting each other. Anxious को क्या पसंद है? मम्मी वापस आई, मम्मी पे चिल्लाना शुरू. Avoidant को क्या पसंद है? मम्मी छोड़ के गई थी, वापस आई, अवॉइड करो, छोड़ो, क्या बताना. ठीक है? Why to even tell this to her? She won't care. So what is going to happen? This is an avoidant. This is an anxious resistant person. So let's just say they came in a relationship. She shouts, he avoids. His avoidance creates anxiety. She shouts. She shouts, he gets anxiety, he avoids anxiety. His avoidance creates anxiety, she shouts. Toxic relationship. What if there was never a masculine figure for a kid to appoint as a father figure? I don't think that's true. I think there is going to be at least one person. It can be your friend, it can be your taiji, I don't know, your uncles, it can be anyone whom you see as your father figure. Like he was there since your childhood, this man. And if no man was there, you need a father figure because then no one taught you how to be a man. You learned how to be a man then from a woman. That won't work. Elder brother can be a father figure as well. Yes. Dude, I'm saying a random person, a billionaire can be your father figure if you know him. So, coming back, I was going to talk about Prabhat's point. So, Prabhat, you were saying, aren't these normal behavior that family not able to regulate emotion, model boundaries? So, this, if it is normal for you, that means there is some kind of, these behaviors are being going in your family. That's normal for you. That's safe environment for you. So, you see what's going to happen whenever you are going to be in an uncertain situation, you are going to create the same environment as it was at your home because that was safe. So, if at your home, no one modeled boundaries, and if you are in a relationship with a girl, what are you going to do then? In your home, let's just say no one modeled boundaries. Now, you are in a relationship with a girl, and you both were fighting, and it's an uncertain situation. You will break her boundaries. Why? Because boundaries were not modeled at home. So, bro, this is called as trauma bonding. When I say that these behaviors are normal, I am also going to attract someone who's going to take these behaviors. So, if I am an anxious person, more of an anxious person, I'm going to attract an avoidant. I'm an avoidant, I'm going to attract an anxious person. This is called as trauma bonding. So, this behavior is a normal. And if it seems normal to you, that means you feel this is safe. This is the standard of safety. That means you will create this kind of environment again and again because that's how it was at home. Which is why people keep on coming out of relationship, getting into relationship, coming out of relationship, getting into relationship, and not understanding why in every relationship it's ending up the same way because brother or sister, both of you guys are creating the same kind of environment as it was at your home because that makes you feel safe. You see, so it isn't normal because what waves are being produced? Delta waves. Both of these guys are unconscious. They don't know what's happening. They don't know family archetypes. They are in an automatic mode since 7 years of age. Now let's move forward. बहुत
Bro,
लंबा सेशन चल रहा है. Yes.
hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, bro. What is it?
Hello, I mean, आवाज क्रैक हो रही है आपकी. Hello.
मेरी आवाज अभी भी क्रैक हो रही है. क्रैक हो रही है. क्रैक क्रैक क्रैक. Can you hear me, bro?
बहुत ज़्यादा क्रैक. Now it's fine actually. Yeah, my
Okay.
question is, yeah, थोड़ा सा लंबा question है. I mean, you just explained what family archetypes is. लाइक मेरे घर में क्या सीन होता है, लाइक मी एंड माई सिस्टर, हम दोनों अक्सर अपने ही कमरे में रहते हैं, हम लोग बाहर नहीं निकलते अपने कमरे से. माई मदर इज अ टीचर, शी कम्स बैक फ्रॉम अ जॉब, शी मैं ऐसे बाहर निकल के अपनी माँ से भी मिलने नहीं जाता, मैं मम्मा खुद मेरे कमरे में आ जाती हैं. एंड माई फादर इज ऑल्सो देयर. सो माई फादर, मेरे फादर का बिजनेस है, एंड व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि फ्रॉम द मॉर्निंग पीपल कम्स एंड दे मीट हिम, दे कम टू मीट हिम फॉर वर्क. एंड आई डोंट टॉक टू माई फादर ईदर. जैसे कभी कभी थोड़ा बहुत बोल लिया कि चाय चाहिए, पानी चाहिए, ऐसा वाला सीन. सो इज इट दैट कि आई एम ऑल्सो हैविंग दैट अवॉइडेंट रिलेशनशिप? बिकॉज बचपन से आई हैव सीन माई पेरेंट्स लाइक फाइटिंग.
So you are an avoidant. That means if okay, bro, I can tell you precisely. No, okay, there is preciseness and accuracy. I can tell you precisely, but I won't be able to. I won't be accurate. To be accurate, I'll give you a website. You can go there, give a test. You will come to know about your personal this attachment style. But if you are
Actually,
saying
I've
that
gone through that
parents,
16 personality test.
no, not that. There's another one. There's another 16 personalities is for brain functions and attachment styles personal. It's different. So you are saying that your parents they fight. I'm seeing them fighting from your you're seeing them fighting from your childhood. You will have to know if your mom is starting the fight all the time or your father is starting the fight. If your mom is starting the
Father.
fight, then is father starting the fight by avoiding something or being anxious about it?
He's actually anxious. Like
Okay,
मेरे फादर का सीन क्या है कि ही इज दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन कि उन्होंने जो एक बार बात कह दी वो होनी ही होनी है. ही इज वेरी डोमिनेंट.
okay.
मुझे ना सुनने
And
की आदत नहीं. ही इज दैट
and
काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन.
your
तो
mother
माय
sometimes
मदर
tries
डज
to
दैट बिकॉज
avoid.
शी सीज की नो नो, माय मदर डज दैट थिंग व्हाट माय फादर वांट टू, बिकॉज शी इज की क्या फायदा लड़ाई बड़ाई हो. सो
Yeah,
माय
your mother
मदर शी
is
कंप्लाइज.
avoidant. Avoidant. So you're close to your mother, then your father.
यस इंडीड, आई एम क्लोज टू माय मदर.
So you're an avoidant. Not
हाँ मैं
totally like
इनफैक्ट
100%. You can't be 100% avoidant. Like दुनिया को ही avoid कर
नो,
देना.
आई एम नॉट
But
100%
yes,
अवॉइडेंट, बट आई
yes.
एक्चुअली स्टार्ट टू रियलाइज दिस बिकॉज मैं काफी डरपोक था बचपन में. मैं बहुत
Hmm.
डरपोक था. मैं एक बार स्कूल से पिट के आया, सो माय मदर, आई डोंट नो ये बात रिलेटिव है यहाँ पे कि नहीं, बट माय मदर गिव मी, उन्होंने मुझे बॉक्सिंग का बहुत शौक था.
Hmm.
आई यूज्ड टू फॉलो एवरी बॉक्सर. सो माय मदर
Hmm.
गिव मी अ 2000 रुपी नोट एंड शी सेड कि जाके बॉक्सिंग ज्वाइन करो. एंड
Hmm.
आफ्टर दैट मेरे अंदर आई जस्ट गॉट दैट स्ट्रेंथ. फिर आई गॉट इनटू
Hmm.
एमएमए. मैं 5-7 साल किया, मैंने डिस्ट्रिक्ट पे बॉक्सिंग खेली.
Hmm.
After that I had the courage. मेरे अंदर वो था कि मैं किसी की भी माँ चोद दूँ. That kind of thing I had that. So after that I started to speak in front of my father. you know
Hmm.
वो फिर मेरा और फादर का ऐसा सीन हो गया कि वो मेरे सामने कभी नहीं चिल्लाते थे, ना कुछ बोलते थे. वो बस
Hmm.
मेरे को नहीं बोल के मेरी माँ से बोलते थे कि ये कर रहा है, ये कर रहा है, ये वो नहीं है. एंड माय मदर यूज्ड टू कमेंट से कि तुम ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो, वैसा क्यों कर रहे हो. मम्मी मम्मी ने मुझे किसी चीज के लिए डांटा नहीं, बट वो एक डोमिनेंट फिगर जो होता है, बिकॉज ऑफ
Hmm.
विच समवेयर डाउन द लाइन आई स्टॉप माई सेल्फ, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि माँ को मेरी वजह से ना सुनना पड़े, और उसके वजह से मेरा काफी मन मर जाता था.
Hmm.
इनफैक्ट आई हैड अ ट्रॉमा बिकॉज ऑफ विच मैं नाइन्थ में था. आई यूज्ड टू लाइक अ गर्ल, और मैंने ट्यूशन टीचर को बता दिया था. फादर गॉट टू नो अबाउट इट, और गजब का पेला पापा ने. तो रात में सोते हुए उठा के मारा था मुझे. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ
Hmm.
विच आई हैड दैट ट्रॉमा कि अब मैं लड़कियों से बात कैसे करूं. यू वोंट आई डोंट हैव अ गर्लफ्रेंड, आई एम स्टिल सिंगल. I just that's the reason. And in fact the question that day आपने 7 क्वेश्चन मेरे को दिए थे. I मुझे, मैं सच बता रहा हूँ, मुझे नहीं समझ में आया कि मैं क्या लिखूं. I
Hmm.
am genuinely saying this. I mean I still need time. 2 से 3 दिन मुझे और लगेगा. But after that
Hmm.
I'm definitely gonna send it to you.
And bro, one more thing. Avoidant की एक और चीज होती है. You will be love avoidant as well. That means you'll face intimacy issues. Can you kiss your mother, hug your mother?
I express my love for my mother. I every day say I love
Okay.
you. My mother say, yeah,
No,
yeah.
can
I'm
you
not love
kiss your mother
avoidant.
on the
I
cheek?
am a
Can you
very
kiss the
affectionate
mother on
person.
the cheek?
Yes, I do that.
Okay.
Yes, I do
So
that.
you are not love avoidant, but you'll be dismissive avoidant. That means your coping mechanism. I'll talk about coping mechanisms now. Okay, can you turn the microphone off now?
Yeah, sure,
I'll just
sure,
start
sure.
talking about it. So, guys, you guys have heard everything about attachment styles. Now, to deal with different ups and downs, human brain starts learning coping mechanisms. What are coping mechanisms? You had a family archetype. You know what is your tolerance level. You know what you can't tolerate. And when things go south, you have to cope up with it. How are you going to cope up with it? So there are number one, adaptive coping mechanisms. Then there are maladaptive. What are adaptive and maladaptive coping mechanisms? First, let's talk about maladaptive, जो कि toxic families में होता है. You know, maladaptive toxic families are having maladaptive coping mechanisms. So maladaptive coping mechanisms में क्या आएगा? First thing, unresolved emotion. The moment there is an unresolved emotion in the air, first part, either there'll be slamming of doors. Doors are slammed. Okay. This is maladaptive. That is, this is how they have taught their sons or daughters to deal with this emotion. Slam doors. Second, throw things. Third, silent treatment. Fourth, abuse. Fifth, beating. All of this is maladaptive. You see fighting, like quarreling, your parents are like fighting, like fist and like hands. That's maladaptive. You may say, I will never fight with a girl. I'll never raise my hand on a girl. But in your whole childhood, you have seen your father doing that. So when you will grow up, when you are going to feel the same emotion that your father felt, your brain exactly knows what to do. Are you getting it? This is called as coping mechanisms. Then there are adaptive coping mechanisms. What are adaptive coping mechanisms? Adaptive coping mechanisms starts with, again, there is an unresolved emotion. The moment there is an unresolved emotion, have you seen what will kids do when they feel unresolved emotions? Number one, paint. Number two, play. Number three, jump. Number four, start talking to self. What else are adaptive coping mechanisms? Deep belly breathing. Sixth, uh, push-ups. Now, guys, see this. Adaptive and maladaptive coping mechanisms. So, information came in, autonomic nervous system activated. Now, in the information, amygdala sensed threat, anger, frustration, something. So, you are feeling angry and frustrated. The moment you shouted, slam door, not talking to anyone, abusing yourself in your own mind, or beating yourself, you switched to sympathetic. That means if you shouted on your mother because of something that came in your mind, your mother triggered into sympathetic. Now she's going to feel she's out of homeostasis. Now your mother goes in front of your father. Now your father is out of homeostasis. Now this whole family is out of homeostasis. Sympathetic, fight or avoid each other. One of these things are going to happen. So do you see one thing? In the maladaptive coping mechanism, your sympathetic nervous system is triggered. Mobility, slamming door, mobility, throwing things, mobility. Silent treatment is also mobility. This is reactivity. Because in your mind, you want to say a lot of things, but you are being silent. You will not even talk. This is reaction. Abuse, mobility. Beating, mobility. This sympathetic nervous system. Your reptilian brain, animalistic brain. You have to use your inner child. How are you going to do that? Unresolved emotion, to deal with them, how are you going to use your inner child? Remember, I told you about the vagus nerve, polyvagal theory, connected from the it's a 10th cranial nerve from your top of your head to your diaphragm. So let's just say you are feeling down and suddenly you started listening to live music. I told you your vagus nerve endings are open near your ears as well. And just because you started listening to music, your middle ear, your middle ear, how do you think your brain listens? You think your eardrums vibrates and brain listens? No, it goes in. There are contractions and expansions in your eardrum. It's contracting and is expanding. And your brain interprets this contraction and expansion and converts it into information. Okay. So, guys, what was I telling you? Yes, adaptive coping, vagus nerve. So, what kind of sound is going inside your ears? What kind of contraction and expansion is happening is going to tell if your sympathetic nervous is going to get triggered or parasympathetic. Someone is shouting at you, the contraction and expansion are identified to be as triggered to trigger sympathetic nervous system. Someone is polite to you, someone is singing for you, you are in social engagement mode. You are in parasympathetic nervous system. You are relaxed while talking to this person. So why do you feel stressed while talking to someone? In your head, a lot of anxiety while talking to someone? Simple. Your parasympathetic nervous system is triggered. And now, what coping mechanism will you apply? Will you shut yourself? That means your mother gives you silent treatment. Will you walk here and there, try to avoid things? That means your parents are avoidant. So, what is your response when there is an unresolved emotion? Do you keep on searching and searching and searching, micromanage, finding out the solution? Critical parenting, strict parenting, very strict parenting. So from here, you will come to know what are your coping mechanisms and what kind of coping mechanisms your parents are using. Okay.
Hello.
So
Hello.
yes.
Uh, I'm still confused and I want you to help me out. Okay, like मैंने पूरा webinar सुना and yeah, like I I want to tell you about my upbringing. So क्योंकि मैं अभी भी confused हूँ. ठीक है.
Bro, guys, listen. Send me a message on WhatsApp because it will be
Okay.
better. This session will never stop otherwise. It won't stop. So it's better if you guys, whatever questions you guys are getting, send me on WhatsApp. Ask me personally. Or you can ask over here. That will be also good. That will also be good. Okay, now we are going to talk about our last topic, I guess. And our last topic is okay, I'm going to talk about inner child archetypes. Now you came to know, okay, it will go from theory to therapy. Yeah. So now I told you that this is the family archetype. This is the kind of attachment style. These were your coping mechanisms. And now let's talk about what kind of child you came out to be. Okay. The byproduct, actual product that came out, not the byproduct, the actual product that came out from this kind of parenting, attachment styles, and coping mechanisms. So now I'm going to tell you inner child archetypes. First one, you are either going to be a caretaker. How will someone be a caretaker? A caretaker would be someone who is like, I'll pay for everyone. That moment will not come where someone has to ask who is going to pay or how much do I have to pay. I'm going to pay all. I'm the caretaker. Okay. That's the inner child archetype. I'm also a caretaker. I used to be a caretaker. I'm not a caretaker anymore. It's not good to have to be like this. Okay. So, caretaker personality archetype. How? When I was a kid, anyone is asking me, what do you want to be? I'm like, astronaut. Like, I started reading Stephen Hawking, and I got telescope from small age. So I was into space and all of that. So my uncles and aunts, they used to tell me that you are going to lead all of your siblings. Okay, they are all following you, and you are the head. You have to take care of them. And you know what? Whenever some of my cousins are coming to my home, please share that website, bro. Here, Prabhat shared that website. This one, attachment style test. I'll also share anyways. www.dianepoolheller.com. Okay, guys. So first one is caretaker. So I was like caretaking everyone. Now, like 2 3 years ago, I also noticed this thing. I'm paying for everyone anywhere because that moment won't come where someone has to ask me anything because I'm the caretaker. And from a very small age, this is what I've been believing. So my inner child archetype is that of a caretaker. Second, inner child archetype is rescuer. Rescuer thinks if सब फंसे हुए हैं, everyone is stuck, the whole world is stuck, and I can rescue them, and I need to rescue them. My parents are stuck, they don't know, but they are, and I need to rescue them. So this person comes out to be a rescuer, inner child archetype. He thinks his friends are stuck, everyone is stuck. Messiah complex can also stem out from being a rescuer. Rescuing someone whom you love, a parent figure as well. So, a rescuer. Third is yes sir. The yes sir believes whatever has been asked from me, I can't say no to that. For example, who will be a yes sir? Someone born in a family who's taught like, how can you say no to your elders? They are your elders. How can you say no to them? Don't you have any shame? You said no to them. And you have suffered a lot of punishment and devalidation when you said no. You know, why would a child say no? Child is very much connected with his body. If you tell a child, does this feel right? He will tell it through only one lens. How does it feel in my body? Okay. An adult person can have a lot of filters. What if I say this and he doesn't like it? What if I say this, then how will I be observed? A kid will only tell you something on the basis of what feels in his body. So he said no to an elder, and he's being punished on that. What does this kid learn? That this kid learns that if I say no, I will not be validated. I got to be a yes sayer. If I always say yes to people, I will be loved. That's how I will be loved. A caretaker thinks I need to take care of people, and that's how I will be loved. A rescuer thinks I need to rescue people, and that's how finally I'll be loved. Yes sayer thinks I need to say yes to people, and that's how I'll be loved. Then fourth, overachiever. Overachiever, again, the product of critical parenting, strict parenting. Like he got 85 out of 100 in maths. Where are the rest 15 numbers? Where are the rest 15 numbers? Okay, you can study better. Next time, try to score better than this. What the fuck? The class got 70 out of 100. I had only got 85 out of 100. It's still not enough. So the overachiever thinks I need to achieve even more to be loved. And how much ever he achieves, it's never going to be enough because he's an overachiever. If he achieves it, it's not high enough. So an overachiever is always in the rat race. Always, always. He wants to keep on overachieving because he thinks that's how he's going to be loved. Next one, underachiever. Underachiever. Someone, like, imagine this. A parent is telling the child, you can't do anything. You will open you will open a stall, a tea stall. That's it. That's the maximum you will do. You will open a tea stall. We don't expect anything from you. Like, even if you open a small tea stall, we will be proud of you. We don't expect numbers from you. We think you will stay here forever. This is an underachiever archetype. You know why? He's getting so much of attention when he's an underachiever. If he becomes an overachiever, he will miss this attention. So he will never leave that thing. He will not leave that place. He will remain an underachiever. Why? Because now he thinks, if I become an underachiever, that's how I will be loved. And for him, the love is the kind of attention that he's seeking. So, guys, you are either a caretaker, a rescuer, a yesayer, overachiever, underachiever, all of them, some of them. You can be any of that. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you have figured out which one are you can be many of them, find out which one dominates the most. After that, you are going to write a letter to that. No test for this, awareness for this. No test can get so much involved with your life to tell what is your inner child archetype. There are moments happened in your life that will tell you if which one are you. Okay, coming back, I'm going to tell you how to deal with inner child archetypes. We don't need them. I don't need to rescue everyone. I don't have to keep on overachieving. I don't have to say yes to everyone. If I'm saying yes to one thing, I'm saying no to a lot of other things. Okay. I don't want to be an underachiever. I don't want to keep on paying for everyone. So these inner child archetypes, having it is not something really good. So we got to release them. How? So you have to write a letter to yourself, guys. And you can write this letter to yourself right now. Get a pen and paper. Or just see me how I'm writing. You'll get the template. Here is the template. I'm going to write a letter for my inner child archetype, who is a caretaker. Here I go. Dear little caretaker Yadu, I know what you think. I know you think that you need to take care of everyone because you are the eldest one. You have siblings behind who look up to you. I know you believe that you hold the responsibility to caretake and please every known and unknown in your surrounding. I know you think you have to pay for everyone. I know you think and feel all of this because you believe that you can only be loved this way. But from now on, you don't have to pay for everyone. You don't have to caretake everyone. You don't have to please everyone. And I promise you, you will still be loved. Ending the letter, I hear you, I see you, and I will always love you. Wise adult Yadu. So this is the letter that I wrote to my inner child archetype. And you don't know what kind of release it feels. You will feel it once you have done it. So this is the template. You can identify your inner child archetype and then write a letter for yourself as well. So I hope guys now you have understood that why are you guys learning this? You guys are learning this art because number one, you're either seeking validation. Number two, you're either seeking attention. Number three, you're either seeking authority. How to identify the inner child archetype? You can only identify them from your responses to certain environments. There is no test for this. There is archetype test for Jungian theory, but that test won't tell you anything about this. So you can only know about this by self-reflection. You'll have to see what is my inner child archetype. And it can be more than one, two, or three. Okay. After that, know which one is the most dominating one, then write down a letter. But don't try to find it so easily. Nothing valuable is going to come so easy. Right? When it is related to you, you'll have to go back, see how you have been responding to different things, different kind of emotions, different kind of situations. On the basis of that, what is your inner child archetype? Are you trying to rescue people? Are you trying to rescue your family, rescue your sibling? Are you trying to caretake everyone, or you are like, no, they can take care, people can take care of themselves, I don't need to take care of them? Or you are more like, I need to achieve more. People are achieving. People are doing their shit. And I got to do my shit. I got to achieve even more. Or you're an underachiever. What are you going to do after achieving anything? Who are you? What is your initial archetype? You're going to get there. How to classify the dominating archetype? The dominating archetype will be the one where you will see the repetitiveness. That I have been the caretaker most of the times in my life. And you have, see, how will you do this? You have caught yourself being that thing, being that inner child archetype. For example, I will see myself paying for someone. For example, I am with my friends in a restaurant and I paid for everyone. And I am like caretaker. And I smiled because I caught myself. Even though I paid, but this is a gift that I just got. I got sure that this is a caretaker coming out again. This is the situation it's coming out. It's not going to come out again. I paid for all of them because I thought if I pay for all of them, I'll be loved by them. And it was so unconscious, I didn't even know this is why I'm doing it. Do you see how this is happening? Yes, it can be mixed as well. So now I told you that you guys are learning this thing because you're either seeking validation, attention, authority, or care. Here is this thing, guys. I have told you. I'll just put a bookmark over here. Another point I'll just tell you that you guys must be thinking. No, what was the point? I fucking forgot the point. Yes, shadows. So, guys, you have learned about the family archetypes and inner child archetypes, attachment styles. Now, what I want to tell you is that the part of you which was not accepted, devalidated, disregarded, neglected, या फिर denied any part of you. Like when you were angry, no one is coming to ask you. Or when you are angry, other person is shouting at you. Your mother is shouting at you when you are angry. Or when you are sad, no one is looking at you. Your mother is working on her stuff. So there are your aspects which are not liked, punished, neglected, denied, disapproved, disregarded, or ignored by your parents. Then there are your aspects only which were rewarded, appreciated, they were given attention, validated by your parents. So your only behaviors which you don't like are the same behaviors which your parents also don't like in themselves and in you. You don't like to see yourself anxious. Your mother and father doesn't like to see themselves anxious, and they don't like to see you anxious as well. So you learn what not to like in yourself by your parents again. Do you see this? What is acceptable within me is learned. What is not acceptable within me is also learned. So there is a shadow in you, a part of you which you want to get rid of. You're like, bro, how to get rid of neediness? You are needy, it's your part, and you want to get rid of it. Why? You hate it. Why? Authority hates it. Is it a good idea to explain all this to my parents? Nope, because the thought process they are carrying is having its own momentum, and you can't make someone understand when they are not receptive. That means if I go to my parents, there is this thing, they'll be like, "We have seen you naked when you were a kid." तेरे को तो नंगा घूमते देखा है हमने, तो हमें बताएगा. So there is no point. It's better to talk about these things by going on dates with them. That means I can take my father out on a date. I am going to take him out on a date. I'm going my father out on coffee date. And now I'm going to talk to my father and talk about things like, tell me the experience of your life in 10 minutes. Tell me what is life for you. Any books for this stuff? There are a lot of books I'll even recommend. But before that, let me finish the session, guys. I told you what are shadows and light in you. All your behaviors, everything, every part of you, you want to get rid. जहां पे तुम्हारा आ गया ना, wherever you are like, bro, I want to get rid of this in me. It's your shadow. And if you are saying you want to get rid of your shadow, it will become a bigger problem because you are in denial where you are saying, I can never accept this thing in me. Why? Because my parents never accepted this thing in me. Okay. So I am saying, guys, the whole purpose of this first session is to tell you that whatever reason you came with to learn this thing, the biggest reason why you want to learn this is because you want your shadows to be validated. मतलब कि जो जो चीजें मेरे घर वालों को acceptable नहीं है, any type of sort of behavior which is not acceptable to my family, but it is in me, I want a woman who will accept me with all of this. That's why you're learning this. In reality, it's the unknown. You don't know this, and you don't even know you know this. So, to prove this, what are the 5 qualities, guys, that you are seeking in a woman? Behavior qualities. This is my question to you. तुम्हें यहाँ पे अभी के अभी अब 5 behavior qualities लिखनी है जो तुम एक you are seeking in a woman. High sex drive नहीं, high sex drive behavior quality नहीं है, biological quality है. Good looking हमने presume किया, she is already good looking. Behavior qualities. For example, loving. That I don't need her to complete me. She doesn't need me to complete her. She's complete in herself. I'm complete in myself. Still, we both want to be with each other. That's interdependent relationship. So I want a woman who's loving in this way. So what are the behaviors that you are seeking in a woman? Five qualities. I want 5 qualities. Loving, caring, understanding, and witty. Caring, understanding, smart, respects boundaries. Humble, ambitious, honest, helpful, adventurous. Loving, understanding, respectful towards me, extrovert and good listener, respect boundaries. Loving, responsible, friendly, adaptive, transparent. Loving, caring, understanding, knowledgeable, honest, and humble. आड़ दो भाई. Desired. She is desired by other men. This is what you are writing, Sameer bro. Then desired कि भाई मेरी बंदी को बहुत सारे लोग चाहते हो और मेरे साथ हो वो. I want to be wanted. Okay. So you can say pampering in nature. Do you want her to pamper you? I want to be desired. I want to be liked. I want to be validated. Yep. You want her to validate you. You want her to know that who you are, how you look, whatever you are, I like you like this. That's validation. Validating you for who you are. That's what you are looking for in a woman. That she validates. Understanding, honest, caring listener. Kindness. 5 people are still typing. Okay. Type, I give you 30 seconds more. I'm just coming. Guys, the door was open and my cat was going to go out. I just can't let her go out. And the session is going to end. Let me just finish. But still unclear I am. Respecting loyal integrity, engaging, intuitive, caring, smart, inspiring, outwardly. Okay. Microphone. Okay, guys, here is one last thing. भाई मुझे नहीं पता what kind of qualities that you're looking in a woman. Disorganized attachment style दिख रहा है मेरे को यहाँ पे. Okay, guys, so I want to ask this thing to you. How many of these qualities that you have mentioned are already in your mother? Hygienic, who can sit and listen to what I have to say, can understand my way of thinking and not impose her understanding upon me. That's empathetic. Should be diligent with practicing her craft. Artistic. Should be inclined. Okay, that's accountable and disciplined. Should be inclined towards physical fitness. Okay. Suniket says all of them, very few true, all, only two, all. That's why I desired in her to 1, 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 4, 3. Think it's more descriptive. 3 of them, 4, 3. I wish my mom had all these. So, guys, the qualities that you have mentioned, you are either your mother is all okay. Your mother is either already having these qualities or you always wanted these qualities in your mother. Do you know what does this mean? You are looking for a woman with qualities who can validate you for your shadows because you know your mother will not validate you for your shadows. You are not learning game because you want to have a lot of sex. You are learning game because you want to get validated, guys. You want to get validated by the very figure whom you know will never validate you for your shadows. Now you guys know why you are learning this. What difference is this going to make? I'm in a mall and with me there is my friend. He is also gaming with me. I am inside this mall and gaming because I am seeking validation. I'm looking for a girl who will come and validate me or मेरा दिन बन जाए. This guy, he wants to have sex with girls. You know, sex with girls. So, which parent were I was close to mother, then my father, then I built relationship with them. Closeness with your father. I developed closeness with my father by taking him out on dates. I used to suppose I was like, today I will bring food for night. I will go out with my father to some Domino's or something. I will have some pulpy orange with him over there, pack the pizzas, come back to the home. So these small dates, spending alone time with my father and talking about life and emotions and how he feels in different situations, if he has ever been betrayed, these kind of conversations. We think we know our parents. We never knew our parents. That's what you will understand when you'll actually start talking to them. Your parents can be your best friend, but they never showed that side to you. And just because they never showed, you don't know they have that side to themselves. Why is it so difficult to talk to father? Because he's authority for you. It's very difficult for you to open up in front of him because he's authority. And if authority is abusive at home, it will be difficult for you to talk to him. Are you getting it? अगर तुम्हारे डैड तुम्हें abuse करते हैं या फिर चिल्लाते हैं, they are shouting at you or abusing you, it will be difficult for you. But still, as you keep growing, keep trying it. He will he will crack up. Oedipus complex. We'll talk more about this in the next session, guys. But till now, understand that the kind of women you are seeking, you are learning game because you want your shadows to be validated. And you think that a lot of sex will validate it. Because when you were a kid, you thought a lot of sex will validate it. A lot of women will validate me. No, imagine this. A guy who was never desired by girls want to have sex with a lot of girls. A guy who was always rejected by girls want to fuck a lot of girls. A guy who had a breakup, he wants a girlfriend. He wants very few girls around him, but he wants a girlfriend. A guy who has never been close to girls, never been thinking about girls. He has much more higher than just girls. Is looking for wife. Are you getting it? So I hope now you know why you guys are doing game. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the surface level of unconscious. Today we talked about the deeper level of unconscious. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the surface level of unconscious. If you guys have any more questions, send it in the WhatsApp group, and I'll see you tomorrow now. Please suggest great books on what you teach today. Great books. I'll just suggest one book. Read one book, complete it, come back to me again. I'll tell another one. This book is emotionally this was Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Read this book. It's a good book. There are many more books. There's polyvagal theory. I've I have so many I can suggest, but even before moving forward with this, read it. Author name. Author name is, wait, let me check my Kindle. Oh, it's not on Kindle, it's on Audible. To avoid being offensive. It's Lindsay C. Gibson. Yes. Read this. After this, we'll move on with the next thing. Next book, I'll tell you. And this is it. I'll see you tomorrow now. Bye bye. Hasta la vista. Shabba khair. Allah Hafiz.